Welcome back to Pro Cycle Repair with Ian. Today I'm going to show you guys how to do some basic soldering on wires. I'm going to show you probably the neatest way to do it. I really don't like crimping things. I like to solder and stick with heat shrink. That's kind of like the above and beyond. I know that there is $200 tools to do the best crimping you can, and they're pretty solid. I just like to solder. It's 9 times out of 10 not going to fall apart. So I'm going to show you guys just the basics of it. First thing you're going to want is some heat shrink. Pretty cheap, Harbor Freight. Comes in different sizes, already pre-cut. Next thing you're going to want is either a soldering torch, or you're going to want just a basic flame torch. I do this just because it's faster. Next thing you want is a roll of some solder. You can get thin, large, doesn't matter. Alright, so first thing you're going to do is you're going to pre-cut all your wires. Make sure you start with the largest gap for cutting. That way you're not taking away the copper. Then you're going to want to peel back and put heat shrink on individual wires. Then you're going to want to put a larger heat shrink on all of the wires. So what we'll do is we'll solder a wire, cover with heat shrink, and then once we get all of them done, then we'll cover the whole thing with a large heat shrink. That just ensures that we're not going to have any corrosion and we're not going to have any water damage. Okay, so next what you're going to want to do is you're going to make a simple joint like this. Fold one, fold the other. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take the torch, put it next to it, heat it up a little bit, put the solder over it, solder them together.
So what I'm doing right here is first I heated up the wire to bring it to a hot enough temperature, and then I'm putting the solder over the wires and I'm heating up the solder, melting it onto the wires, and then I pull the solder away and now I'm heating up the wires so that way the solder melts with the wires. When you do this, make sure that you have solder on both the wires so that the joint is tight and doesn't come apart. And just try to keep the heat down a little bit. It doesn't need too much because there you can see I'm burning the insulation a little bit. It's fine if the shrink wrap covers it, which it does. I made them long enough. And yeah, just double check to make sure that the joints are actually soldered and they stay together. So for those of you that don't know, a heat shrink is basically, it's an insulation that has glue inside, and you apply heat to the outside of the wire you're wanting it to wrap around, or metal, or whatever you're doing, and it sucks all up tight, and it'll be pretty strong.
And just like that. So I put about 2 drips of solder onto it, got rid of the excess. Now we're going to make sure our joint's tight. Yep. Make sure your ends are nice and glued down. Then we'll go to the next one. Alright, so once you slide those individual heat shrinks over, then you slide the main heat shrink over, and that's how you solder some wires. We're gonna put some wire loom over it. I forgot to put heat shrink over the main one. I like to do heat shrink on the ends. That just keeps it a lot neater. But oh well. I'll just do an individual strip, wrap it around just like once or twice with the electrical tape. Buy the expensive stuff that doesn't make your fingers all sticky and nasty after one heat wave. And then don't wrap the whole thing. Just do one little strip here, one little strip there. Looks way cleaner than when people just wrap the whole thing and then it's all sticky and nasty and looks really unprofessional. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching Pro Cycle Repair with Ian. Don't forget to like and subscribe and ask me any questions in the comments. All right, later, guys.